definitely looking back at it, it's like, oh, wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
I could do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to do. Yeah, I'll do it. Oh my god.
You would die.
Yeah, no, I would die.
If you had to
I
do
don't
it.
try to hide it. I'm fucking. I would. It's
way.
easy for me, but like, yeah, I would be terrified to do that. Well, I don't know. Like when Hila gave birth, I was holding her leg. Like, what was your point of view, Bobby?
I was holding her leg and looking.
So you saw the whole thing? Yeah, I did.
I was fucking there for everything, dog. I saw that little alien pop out of there.
It's
You know what's really gnarly too is you imagine that it's this like cute little flesh colored thing inside of the tummy, but it's not. It's all white. It looks like fucking Voldemort. And then it comes out and then it breathes and then it looks like Barney and it's all like blue.
Oh, all red and shit.
Yeah, purple and red and stuff.
I just remember. I remember him coming out and the top of his dome just looked like a meatball. It was like all white and bumpy.
It was crazy. I did one of those like when the baby actually came out, one of those like on the wall. I was crying profusely.
I remember
we were too.
And you were like against the wall crying, and I was like, "Get over here! What are you doing?"
Yeah, Hila yelled at me too. Well,
when did they yell at you?
Because they took him out, and then they immediately bring him over to some table under a light to like clean him off and inspect him and make sure he's breathing and stuff. And you're like, "Go be with him."
Yeah.
Because I was like,
yeah,
I didn't know what to do.
It's like
did you cut the cord?
Weirdo doctors are immediately all around him, and I was like, "Go be with him."
He doesn't.
Go be there.
Yeah, but anyway, he held onto my finger. It was dope.
Oh man, that's dope. That's a vibe. Yeah, birth was a gnarly experience.
And I got to pull him out too.
Yeah.
You did?
Say
Like
what?
had me pull. Yeah, like after his head and his shoulders were out,
Oh,
I got to reach down and
Oh
grab
my
him.
god!
What? That must have been so weird.
Yeah, it was crazy. My doctor told me to do that, and when she said that, I was like, "What are you talking about?"
No, you do it. Yeah.
Reach for him, and I'm like, "Okay," and I grabbed him. I was like,
What was
am I
that
doing?
like?
Oh my
What did that? What did that? I mean, what did that feel? What was that like for you?
Well, grabbing him, obviously, like feeling him, it was just like a big slime ball.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds so gross.
No,
But no, it was crazy because it was my first time just touching him was just weird because I'm just touching my belly for 9 months.
Right.
Saying I'm touching him,
Yeah.
but then I actually touch him, and it's like that's
Where
the
is he?
craziest
Where
feeling.
is he?
He's sleeping.
Oh.
Go wake his ass up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was. The crazy thing was, first of all, Hila's water didn't break until she was giving birth, so there was like a crazy water break moment. And then, did you see what was it called?
The placenta.
The placenta come out?
I didn't see it.
Oh my god, bro!
We didn't see it. I wish we got to see it.
I saw it. It was the wildest shit.
It really
'Cause
looks like alien
Weird.
stuff.
They just take the umbilical cord and yank this organ out of her. It's crazy.
So weird.
And they
I
just
remember feeling it though. I remember.
Yeah,
after he was
I
on me,
remember
and then
feeling
we're
it
like,
too.
Okay, now you're giving birth to the placenta. And
How long did you guys wait to fucking do it again?
oh.
We did it like 2 weeks after.
Do it again.
Oh well, Hila had like
Oh,
a
I had
tear.
stitches.
She had she got her vag tore.
Sorry.
So we had to
So-
do some stitching, and it took a couple
It
months.
took a little longer, I think,
Yeah.
than it should have. I don't know.
I actually don't remember.
They made it sound like I had just like one little tear, but then she was stitching me for like an hour.
Dude.
So I don't really know.
Yeah, Theodore got you good on the way out.
Oh man.
Yeah. But so actually I don't remember because Hila healed kind of slow because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Wow. There you go.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to, but we did it anyway. And then like we're at
What did they tell you? Like a month?
Yeah, they were like wait a month, and then we
You're
went.
supposed to wait 6 weeks.
Oh, 6 weeks, and then we were in the doctor's office, and I was sitting there, and the doctor's talking, and I was just like, "We had sex. Is it okay?" And she was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's fine. It's all good." Anyway, all right, give me a kiss.
Are you guys planning another one? What's going on?
We said that we wanted to have another one really quick, but we kind of think we want to chill for a little bit and
Yeah.
enjoy it.
We're liking the only child vibe right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll have another one.
Yeah, we're still
You'll feel
practicing
it.
a lot.
Yeah, you'll feel it.
Okay, that's my cue.
That's good. Yeah.
All right, I love you. You're
Bye.
beautiful.
So
Got that big old white girl booty. All right, what's up? You know what's weird, really quick?
Are you taking contraceptive if you're not trying to have a kid?
No, she wants to get like an IUD or whatever, which kind of freaks me out because I'm like, what if there's like a problem with it?
It can last for a while.
Yeah, it does last for a while. No, we're just,
Well, we don't use contraceptives, and it's in God's hands. You know what I mean?
Every time?
Well, now since Theodore was born, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy because we kind of just go by that like first couple days after the period.
Well, but the thing is that I think because of her age, you know what I mean? She probably would get pregnant a lot fucking easier than Hila.
That's true. I think I'm much older, right? Like
she's 21.
Yeah.
How old are you? 31?
32.
32. Because the thing is, when you're 32? When you're that age, you just breathe on someone and they get pregnant.
True. That's
crazy.
how it happened. I was like, hey.
Yeah.
And then it happened. Yo, Hila.
Yeah.
So you're our favorite of the H3s.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Are you guys
I'm joking. I'm kidding. But seriously, we love you. And I should have talked about this while my wife was here. Bro, we rewatch the videos all the time for your reaction because I feel like Ethan is the best commentator, but the way you react to shit is hilarious. Or wait,
funny.
maybe it's the opposite. What I mean is like
No, yeah, you
dude, the Fine Bros, bro. Like I'll never forget when we do this all the time. Hila was like, I mean, we already have an N-word. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, what was it about?
When they were like, you can't say Nazis, they were like, oh, you can't be throwing that word out there when we were doing the Seinfeld reaction.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, because I'm not sure if what I'm saying is like funny or not, or if I shouldn't say it. So I'm always like, yeah. So I said it like I wasn't sure if I should say it. Because I was like, there's already an N-word.
Yeah, right.
So.
I remember that line, but I don't remember the video. I forget the shit we've made at this
Is
point.
it the one where they make fun of Seinfeld?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing
there
I
are
show.
like shows that wouldn't be okay today or something.
We made a
like
video
that.
about that?
Yeah, bro, are you kidding? It's like one of the best ones ever.
Well, I could see myself wanting to make a video about that because I'm very defensive about Seinfeld. I don't have any tolerance for people that say they don't like Seinfeld. I just don't accept that.
I don't get it either. It's like, yeah, how do you not like Curb? You know what I mean? Like, what? What are you talking about? These are everyday.
Clearly,
it's why the reason I love Seinfeld is because if you really notice, I mean, it's so genius.
Everything.
There's no
genius.
like cell phone or this or like, things aren't like based on current shit. It's to me, it's like I watch it and it's something that could easily happen today. Do you know what I mean?
I just remembered. They were saying soup Nazi. They were reacting to the soup
Nazi.
Nazi.
Yeah,
and they're saying you can't
offended.
say Nazi.
Yeah.
No, the guy was like,
like,
you
what?
can't be throwing that word around these days. And you just destroyed him.
what?
You were like, what? What do you mean? You were like, there's they're New York City Jews can't say the word Nazi. It was crazy. And I'm like, dude, like, you're right.
I didn't
But
know
that's
that
why
that
it's
was
so funny.
I didn't know that was a thing. It really came as a
I
surprise
didn't know it
to
was
me.
a thing.
I don't think it is, by the way. The soup Nazi. Yeah, watch Seinfeld. I mean, come on.
No, but you got we honestly we love watching your videos. You know, we check every day
Wow.
before we go to bed to see if there's a new video on YouTube.
There's not.
I know.
I'll ruin the surprise.
I know it's demanding though. I get it.
Well, for me, it was just really hard to find content to make for the for the H3H3 Productions channel, and I didn't want to just force it. And like ultimately, when you just force it, there are some people on YouTube who do commentary that are really wholesome and nice, like Drew. There's these guys, Drew Goodman and Danny Gonzalez, that make really good wholesome commentary content that I like, and Gus as well. But for me, I just didn't want to fall into this pit of becoming this cynical fucking asshole that just shits on everybody.
But that's awesome. Like,
but it is to a point. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not for me. It's not like you're really that. I don't think you're that. I think you're the voice in everyone's head who like watches The Bachelor or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you're the guy.
So,
like, but it's funny. It's like it's a joke. It's a
but
joke.
so I guess I don't like clowning on people that don't deserve it or who I feel don't deserve it. Obviously, that's subjective, and I think a lot of like a lot of my early career was making fun of these pranks and shit, and these obvious like scumbag low life fucks that just deserve to be said the worst things about. So that made it really easy to do my job in that sense.
So then, was it hard to do Skippy because he's just like so adorable and weird at the
Skippy's
same time?
yeah, no, exactly. But well, Skippy was okay because I feel like it wasn't a mean spirited video and it was really kind of funny subject matter. But it's more about like maybe YouTubers who everybody's shitting on, and I just don't want to make a video about them.
No, I don't think that. I think like reactionary videos. Like I've seen your subreddit when I'd gone on when I first discovered you, and there a few years ago, and there was a lot of after I met you guys. I don't think anybody even knows how we met. We should get into that, but a lot of your fans actually really have great ideas of stuff that you can commentate on that are even just as funny as like old 80s infomercials that are like really weird and like low-key white supremacist shit on TV. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, it's just another problem was that it's so hard to know if it is good or not, and then I'll shoot the video and then be like, oh, this sucks, and it's just so demoralizing. I don't know. It's tough.
I think you're funny, and I also don't think you should ever force it. And you should do what you want, when you want, how you want, and it doesn't matter what I or anybody else thinks.
It kind of got to like just an overall negative thing where the process wasn't fun for us, and then also there was a lot of criticism, kind of like what you were feeling, I guess, and how you described that you just were done with it. You just don't want to make another album.
Yeah.
We just kind of got to that point with those videos.
Yeah, but you've also given people literally years and years and years of that, plus variety in your videos. You don't owe nobody shit. That's the funny thing, I think, is yes, we are servants as far as being entertainers. Like, we do owe something to the people, but like to an extent, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not happy doing it, then don't do it. That's how I feel about music. Like making music for mainstream consumption and shit like that does not appeal me. I've been going back and forth if I should drop this free mixtape where it's just me rapping on a bunch of like famous beats that I love, like we used to do back in the day. That excites me. That makes me so excited to be like, no one is in their right mind would even like review this, and if they do, like, cool, whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's not on Spotify, it's not here, it's not there. It's going to be some shit Dropbox link that I would like tweet out. Like, that.
I think that's awesome. I like the idea of free music.
Yeah, I love the idea of just a Dropbox link.
Yeah, it's not even on YouTube or some shit.
You guys remember how we met?
Yeah,
I
at
didn't mean to
Justin's
interrupt
house,
you.
right?
Yeah, at Justin's house. That was really funny.
Because so Justin, he was telling me, I didn't know about your music, and then Justin was telling me that you were in Rick and Morty, and he was telling me about your music, and that's how I discovered you. And then it was at his birthday party or something, and then I recognized you. I don't remember.
But there was also another. Well, we got it from two angles. That was one, and then Mac was the other one. Where
we went. Oh,
we
God,
went
I
to one
forgot
of.
about that.
We went to your
with
show.
Mac DeMarco.
What?
You didn't know about? Yeah, exactly. Because we're friends with Mac, and he's like, "Yo, I'm going to this dude Logic's concert. We saw you at the Greek."
Oh yeah.
And then
he got shit faced.
Where's?
No,
oh,
he
I
told
was
me that
shit-faced,
night because he
too.
was gonna come hang out at my house afterwards because we were in LA, and he was like, "Sorry, man, I puked all over my driveway."
Oh my God! I guess I left before that.
It was awesome. It was so cool.
So we went. It was really fun because we went and we were just having a good time, and you were playing Mario Kart and shit, right? Yeah.
Yeah, on stage. I actually went. I went 36-0 on that whole tour. We did like 36 shows, and every night I invited either a fan or a stagehand, somebody who's working on the show backstage. And I fucking won every game.
It's pretty good, man. You might be ready for the pro circuit.
Yeah, totally.
But I think when we came to the show, we never actually got to see you, and then I think that happened first, and then we saw you at Justin's house, right?
Yeah. I was like, hey, I saw you with Matt.
Yeah.
And you're like, who are you?
Oh, really? That's how it happened? Oh, yeah, you're right.
So.
Yep, 100%. Because I was actually single then, because I had just separated from my previous wife, and then I was there, and yeah, that was crazy. That was like one of the first times I had just kind of been out alone, so it was nice to be around people. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But you guys, for sure, were really sweet, and I just remember being like, "Who the fuck are these people? Like, they're so nice." And then I thought you guys like were just really cool.
Oh,
and then I go home.
That's nice.
Yeah, no, for real. I thought you were so cool. And then I go home, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And I just all I would do is watch your videos. Like
that's
awesome.
So funny.
Well, you make me want to make videos again because I want, it's like it's so nice to know that people watch and enjoy it. Because like I feel I can relate very much to your struggles as a creative, because I feel like we get a lot of, there's so much expectations on the old me and the new me, and people want me to do it this way and that way, and this video's not funny and that video's funny. I saw this comment. We made this video on it was on the something virgin. What was it?
Oh,
that's Skippy.
That's Skippy, yeah.
Yeah. So they go, someone commented like, "Oh, the good old golden years," which I found so funny because when we were making that video, people were already shitting on me for having changed and saying they missed our old videos.
Bro, when I released my first album, it was, "This sucks. This is terrible. You sound like Kendrick and Drake and J. Cole and this and that. This is not as good as your mixtapes." And then I released my second album, and people were like, "This is fucking garbage. You did a whole album about space. This is nerd shit. Nobody gives a fuck about this. You have no place in hip hop. This is worse than your debut album." Then I did my third album, and 1-800 was on it. "Oh, you sold out. This is garbage." And then you fast forward now, and people are like, "Yo, your first and second album, classic."
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Classic. And I'm just like,
and you're like, "I wanted to die the whole time."
Yeah, exactly. So it's funny because
weird.
like you're doing those things thinking you're not good enough, and you're like trying to impress. It's like really funny. But when it comes to videos too, dude, like I'm sitting on so much music. Like I'm sitting on, I mean, I have 10,000 plus songs, right? But those are, I would say, Jordan or LeBron shooting in the gym. Like there weren't cameras there, there's a shit ton of misses. There's also some really good gold there. But even now, like the new music, like I haven't actually written a song in a long time. But I have this whole mixtape basically that I'm sitting on, and I want to finish it for fun. And I just say this to say that it's kind of almost view it like that, where if you do want to make videos, don't second guess yourselves. You guys are really, really, really funny. And at the end of the day, it's like The Last of Us. Like I remember there was that whole, everyone was like pissed off about the game. Do you remember that?
No.
So there's this video game called Last of Us, and very long story short, I love it. I fucking love it. And I thought it was amazing. And people could be like, "Oh, well, because I'm in the game, I'm in the video game."
Oh.
But like, that's not why I like it. If it was garbage, I'd be like, "Yo, this sucks. Thanks for the check." You know what I mean? But like, so I'm not biased in that sense. It holds a place in my heart for sure. But I just say all this to say, like, there were people who were like shitting on that game before it even came out, and then still spent $60 to play the game anyway. And it's like, these people who say things about you, me, anything when it comes to art, they love you. They are obsessed with you. You know what I mean? And so for somebody to say these things, you shouldn't let it affect how you create. And it's funny because only once stepping away and really being like, "Fuck y'all, I'm out of here," did I personally realize that. So I say that to say that if you guys ever just woke up one day and was like, "Yo, let's find some really funny shit and react to it," and you did that, you also don't have to put it out. You could sit there and save it. You could fucking do 20 videos just because you love it, because it's a Sunday afternoon and you have 2 hours free or whatever, you know what I mean? And you just kind of have a good time and just enjoy it. And then if you ever want to release it, you kind of have that in the bag. So Just do it for fun. I will say though, like what you perceive as negative personally, if it is negative, if you sit there and go, oh, these videos we're making are like mean, okay, cool. If that's how you feel about it. I personally never saw it that way. I almost saw it like a real life Fontano needle drop about like funny shit. Like, you know, this chick's in love with an amusement park. What the fuck is that? Like, that is hilarious. That's really, really funny. And I think, if you focused on that and less, like you said, any drama or YouTube shit, like, fuck that. Even though, not to get into it, I don't want to get into it, but that Keemstar shit was hilarious, dog. But let's leave it at that.
I'm
Let's
glad
just leave
you
it at that.
enjoyed
I thought it
it,
was funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway,
super funny.
do what you love. Just do what you love, man. Fuck all the life is so short. Like, it really is.
I do fantasize about, like, sometimes I swing back and forth. I fantasize about coming back and making a bunch of videos on H3, but then I just always hate it when I try.
Why?
Because it's exhausting.
In what sense? The actual work, or more so trying to please this fictional person in your head that is the viewer before they even see it?
I think I'm just always disappointed for the most part by the process and everything.
But why? Let's talk it out. No rush.
I think I put so much. The thing on YouTube is like, it's people really put a lot of content out, and that's like a way to succeed on YouTube. The thing is, we tend to put a lot of work into our videos, but it doesn't necessarily show. And so I'll just put a video out, and a lot of times I'm not happy with it, and I just see all the negativity, and then the video doesn't do as well as I hoped, and I'm just like, oh, fuck all
But
this.
none of that has to do with the art, and it's the same thing I was going through. Like, there was a time where I was looking at like Travis Scott and like a J. Cole, like how many likes do they have on a post, and this and that and all this other shit. And it's like, why am I looking at these other people that I fuck with and respect, and I'm comparing myself to them, you know? And when you're thinking about like numbers, like, oh, okay, this song's out, oh, but it only has 20 million plays in a week, or oh man, like what 20 million plays, or this, none of that shit. It's all bullshit, dude. Like, you have been conditioned and trained into believing that that's what matters. And the funny thing is, there's a part of in time in your careers and mine where it did matter. You needed to like put the asses in the seats, sell the tickets, do the numbers in order to be successful. But you guys are already successful. You went from the young, up and coming, funny little secret, just like I did, to this gigantic company, a walking fucking brand. And because of that, there's all this pressure that you still have to be as good as the fucking kid who plays Minecraft and gets like 50 million views in one thing. Like, nah, like, you're in a completely separate thing. And at the end of the day, you should only be doing it for the love. And that's why now, when if there's I do Twitch, or if I post something on Instagram or this or that, bro, you don't even want to know the level of separation, the 6 degrees of separation that I've created, bro.
I do want to know.
Yeah, I want to know about it.
So
if you want to post on Instagram, what happens?
If I want to post on Instagram, there is an email thread with 7 people on it. And I'm not even joking. Everyone has a job, and they double check spelling, the caption. Do you want it on the main Instagram? Do you want it on your story? Do you also want it on Twitter? Should we post this on Facebook? Whatever the case may be. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, right? I'm like, just post the shit. Like, I don't care. And then I'm like, I don't want to see comments. Don't talk to me about comments. Don't this, don't that. None of that shit. I just want to know that I'm at least giving my fans something, because I appreciate them and I love them. So I don't know, here's me eating spaghetti or something. It's just like, like, enjoy this. Now there's that. But fucking Twitch, sometimes I look in the chat, because it is positive. It's really not that negative.
When you're on sub only, it's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's also on like the slow, where you can't like type. But even that, it's like. So what I have to do is, my buddy Justin, he's right next to me right now, and he'll go through my Twitter, and he'll go through the sub chat and screenshot and send those shots to my phone, where I don't have Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, anything. Nothing is there. And he'll personally send me those. And then I have to go through and select which ones that I want to see. So this also is like, I don't have to hear things like, oh, you're a blah, 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 and all these like mean spirited things that people can say, especially on Twitter. And the reason I love this is because it kind of encapsulates positivity in the sense of, if I'm not seeing the negativity, it's not going to affect me. And all I can do is be happy when giving that content to the fans. So it's really crazy to think about that, though, because when I first started, it's like I was able to literally just be on my phone and talk to people and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And now when you have people like towards the end of why I got off social media is because I would talk to a fan and be like, hey, I love you so much. And then somebody would like drop the F word or this or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Just like say these really mean things. I mean, I used to tweet out every day. Not that it's not like I don't do this because of that. I just, now people know, but like peace, love, and positivity. That's literally my slogan. That's my thing. And I would have so many people comment back war, hate, and negativity.
What?
And they say that. Yeah.
Such douches.
Gnarly. I just said it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised though. Has your perspective changed at all in the whole love, peace, positivity? Because it used to be like, I think like you were touching on, there was a kind of an aspect of forced positivity when you were in front of a camera or when you were talking about yourself, pretending like things were all good. Do you think that your perspective on that has changed at all?
No, I'm still a big advocate. I think I just wanted to be a driving force to do everything that I could to put that out there, even on my own dark days. You know what I mean? So it never felt fake or like it wasn't from the heart. It always was. And I think that's why when I was down, you know, in the gutter or going through what I was going through personally, I pushed it even more because I knew that if I needed to hear that, someone else out there needed to hear it. So I would really push that. Not that I don't anymore. I totally do. It's like my thing, but I kind of like, it's like biracial. Like we get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone knows who I am. Like they know my thing. So it's not that deep. Like, but yeah, that was hard, dude. Like the hardest my life has ever been was when I was rich and famous. And this is from a kid who was broke on HOC, welfare, food stamps, parents on drugs. You know, I've been kidnapped, physically beaten. Yeah, just the I said it again. The gnarliest shit has happened to me in my life. And it does not compare to what I went through as a famous, wealthy person, which is so stupid. But it's crazy, actually. I think it was more isolated. I was able to deal with it. I never questioned my race or who I was. Everybody knew who I was. You know what I mean? It's like you said with your tick, like, oh yeah, I have Tourette's. Everyone's like, cool. They're, you know, and they're like, oh, what's up, white boy? And I'm like, oh no, this is my dad. And they're like, oh, you a brother? Okay, cool. That's it. Like it wasn't a thing, you know? Which is pretty crazy. I'm writing my autobiography right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude. Like the things
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said that would be an interesting read for sure.
Oh man, yeah. I'll send it to you early. But it's like I'm in it. I'm in the thick of it. I'm still in my childhood, and we've been working on it for like 6 months. So, and yeah, I know it's insane. And you want to talk about imposter syndrome? Like, I read this and I'm like, there's no way I was cooking crack as a teenager on a stove. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? I'm like, there's no way I was holding guns and pounds of marijuana at 11 years old in Tacoma Park in Southeast DC in the fucking hood running from the police. No way. And then I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, my life is not fallacy. You know, it's just, I've always been honest and that's actually really weird. Thinking about that shit, like I can't believe it. I literally can't believe. And you look at me, and I got my glasses and peace, love, and all this other shit.
Definitely. You don't strike me as a crack dealer, but I do think that.
Well, I never dealt the crack. That was my brothers
cooked the crack.
Dealt the crack, but I did cook.
You're the chef.
I'm Raekwon, baby.
So I do think it's interesting though because you strike you strike me as a very wholesome kind of guy, and I think it's an interesting statement on just being the victim of circumstance and doing shit to survive. But like, you know, I think people tend to look at people like that as just bad people. But I think when you separate someone from the circumstance of their birth and this need to fight to survive, you can really see people like I see you as so much different than how I would have seen you as a person back then.
Yeah, it's funny. Drake just came out with this song. Forget what the fuck it's called. I think Lil Durk's on it.
Laugh Now, Cry Later.
Yeah. And goddamn, turn your mic down. I'm just fucking with you. But yeah, yeah, you sound like the voice of God. But yeah, Drake has some line on it about never being embraced. And I was like, damn, like if he feels still like he's not embraced by hip hop, and he's like,
that's true. Drake gets a lot of shit. I mean, it's true. He does.
He does. And the funny thing is when I look at my life, you know, surrounded by drugs, parents addicted to drugs, you know, seeing gang violence and prostitution and, you know, police all the time, eviction letters, being homeless. It's like I am the poster child for the underdog that made it. You know what I mean? And yet I think based on how I carry myself, how I speak, the things I'm interested in, like manga and fucking sci-fi and all this other shit, that's a big part of why I wasn't accepted. But like, who is accepted? Like the motherfucker on the block shooting a Tech 9 talking about I'm gonna fucking kill the baby in this bitch stomach in a drive-by and blah blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Okay, like what is that? What is that? You know, like it's not about I think that negativity. And that's when I realized stepping away from hip hop that I had always been accepted by hip hop for sure. I mean, I have songs with Wu-Tang Clan, and I'm texting Erykah Badu, and I'm talking to the RZA and about this and that. And me and DJ Premier are fucking hanging out and joking out and clowning each other. And you know what I mean? Big Daddy Kane. I mean, I could go on and on with these legends that I've met that just show me so much respect. And I'm like, these are the people I love and appreciate, and they've always embraced me. I think it's this like concept of you know, like I remember the Source magazine gave Eminem like 1 mic or something out of 5 mics. That was like the thing back then. And it was like he was pissed off, and rightfully so. His albums were really amazing, especially back then in that time. But that acceptance in a culture, when you look at a lot of the people who are accepted, it's almost like how long do they even really last, right? That's what's funny in that circle. But I love hip hop, and I've always loved hip hop, and it's just was a weird thing to kind of hear Drake say that, and I'm like, no one is immune to it. You know, I've had some thug rapping gangsta motherfuckers call my phone and be like, bro, I don't live this life at all. Like, sure, there was a time when I was around it, but I ain't never shot nobody. But I feel like I need to perpetuate this lifestyle on the record so that I can sell records, and that if I don't, then I'm just going to be a nobody. But I also feel like the fact that I'm rapping these things are bringing that negative energy towards me and all this shit. And I'm like, man, I'm so glad I'm rapping about like Cowboy Bebop and shit right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a crazy place, man. A lot of it is fake, you know, and it's just like a fake extra background, and a lot of it is real. You know, J. Cole is like, that's like my brother, man. That dude is so honest and so real with what he talks about, and he's never really put on a front. I mean, besides like his mixtapes where he's kind of like, I mean, we all do it, where he's like, yeah, I got this bitch and she bad and blah blah blah, and it's like, but that's the Big L. Like, I don't know if you guys ever listen to Big L or even Reasonable Doubt era Jay-Z. Like, there's something about braggadocio in hip hop that is just like systemic. Like, I do it. Everyone does it. Sure. It's like, yeah, bitches want to fuck me, but I'm reading anime instead. Like that, I'm just, it's something. It's really weird. Anyway,
but why is it that you think? What is it about this that people need to front like they're killing people and selling drugs and all this shit? You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing, right? If you take somebody like 2 Chainz or different people who've actually done this, at the end of the day, they're still rapping about their lives. So it is bittersweet because I don't fuck with like negativity or promoting fucking gang violence or any of that other shit, but it also is a way of life, you know? So if that's all you know is Compton and the street or whatever the case may be, and a family that embraced you regardless of literally what the color of their flag might be, more than your own fucking parents, you know, that either weren't there for you or you were a crack baby and nobody ever gave a fuck about you, and then you're 11 and you join a gang of people who really actually do become your family. Now, even though they might be involved in some illicit shit or whatever, it's like, this is low key what like white America doesn't understand. Like they don't understand that this is what you were born into and it's all you know, and you never even really have an opportunity. There are a lot of people in the hood who are super woke, educated, doing great things. Not everyone's a fucking criminal. That's like bullshit racist view. But when I do hear some of these rappers rap about that, particularly the young kids, they're really doing that. If you listen to Mobb Deep, you know, Prodigy, I'm only 19, but my mind is older. Like this dude was 19 years old in Queens selling drugs. Like, you know, Nas was doing the same thing. But Nas was also studying the dictionary and the thesaurus and doing what he could to tell the story of his hood in a beautifully articulate way. And then through that, he rose above it and kind of got out of that. Mind you, he still visits and takes care of his people and his brother and all that other shit. So I think like any young person that I hear kind of perpetuating the gang violence, there's a part of me that's like a little saddened, but at the same time, it's like, talk your shit, black man. Like that is what you know. Don't try to act like that's not the fucking life you were born into. Like you were born into that and now you're blessed enough to be here. I mean, why do you think rappers buy chains, dog? Because it shows that you made it, right? And even though it's kind of might seem like ignorant to an outside source or whatever, it's like that's all they ever had and that's all they ever knew. And the people that they looked up to wore those chains and did those things. And then I think it takes a very strong man to make it out of that while truly educating himself and understanding. So like me personally, I didn't buy a bunch of chains. I didn't buy a bunch of shit. I didn't buy a Rolex until I was 28 years old and going to the Grammys. And I was like, and I wanted one my whole life and had been able to afford it for 6 years up until that point. And for me, I think allowing, there's just a lot. It's very difficult when trying to discuss this, because putting down a rapper for rapping about his life is kind of bullshit, you know, especially when they're so young. But I think if you're 30 something years old talking about, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker, I'm gonna put a bullet in you, it's kind of like, damn, man, you've been in the rap game for like 5 years. And then that's when I get those calls by certain people like that who are like, yo, I don't live this life anymore. But and then so you find that they themselves are torn. I have a song on my last album. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Nothing.
It's like
it just seems they're kind of stuck in a rut, like music, almost artistically, where they have this style and then they're kind of stuck in it.
100%.
Yeah.
I have this song called Cocaine on my last album that I did before this one. And it goes, the hook is cocaine, 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 Molly. Percocet, my rep move up like a dolly. If I talk about this shit more often, probably. So what I was doing is it was kind of like a social experiment. And I was doing these things called Freestyle Fridays, where every Friday on Instagram, I would release like a 60-second snippet. And so that's what I did. Cocaine, 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 Molly. Percocet, my rep move up, right? And then it goes into the verse. And the verse is, fuck, how does it go? Do you know how it goes, Justin? I forget. Oh, I ain't never fucking with no sneak diss. Best get off my dick, boy, you better not repeat this. Cocaine, what I flip, jump in the whip, cannot compete with. A real OG like me, you know I get that dough like deep dish. Got the party jumping in Atlanta like I'm Freak Nick. Got the party jumping in Atlanta like I'm Donald Glover. I don't want no good girl. I only want a freak bitch. I fuck her without a rubber. Like I'm saying all this like really fucked up shit, right? Now, the cool thing is it's rapped from two perspectives. It's rapped from the perspective of a cocaine drug dealer, and it's also rapped from the perspective of cocaine itself, as if cocaine is telling the story. I only fuck a bitch raw, like, you know what I mean? Because it's like raw, like your nose and all this other stuff. So I put that out. And for the most part, people were like, this is amazing. Like, this is crazy. Like, and then you had some people who were like, Logic, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this isn't you. This isn't whatever. Right. And then on the album, the second verse came out. And the second verse is the perspective of that rapper who's rapping as this drug dealing guy, basically saying, what the fuck are the lyrics? I forget the goddamn lyrics. No, it's like really important. I'm going to look it up for you because, sorry, I got so much shit in my head.
Yeah,
so,
I don't blame you.
Logic lyrics. 1 second, because it's very. Okay, here we go. Got them. Damn, that's so weird. I can just Google
Just
myself.
looked up your own shit.
Yeah, I know. I don't. So I'm gonna read this to you. I ain't never fucking with no sneak diss. Best get off my dick, boy. You better not repeat this. Cocaine, what I flip, jump in the whip, cannot compete with a real OG like me. You know I get that dough like deep dish. Got the party jumping in Atlanta like I'm Freaknik. Got the party jumping in Atlanta like I'm Donald Glover. I don't want no good girl. I'm thinking I need a freak bitch. I don't want no good girl because your boy he ain't no lover. Fuck her with no rubber, then I bounce back. Smoking on some shit so good I can't even pronounce that. Shorty drop it low and make it bounce back. Smoking on some shit so good I can't even pronounce. Cocaine, 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 Molly. Second verse. I don't really want to glorify it, but the streets glorify it. So I got to glorify it before the people throw a riot. If I don't talk about it on my album, then they won't buy it. Man, fuck that. Listen up, quiet. They want to see a black man fall down. They want to see a black man lose. They want to see a black man fall down. They want to see, they want more blacks to sing the blues. And then I repeat this. Bank don't want to give me a loan for my house. That's why I sell bricks of cocaine by the gas station. Never had a foundation. White man stripped it from my people on the plantation. Hope somebody praying for all they salvations. Even though this is the dialogue inside of my brain, I'm filled with pain, but I just can't seem to refrain from cocaine, 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 Molly. Now, here's what's really funny about the internet is that I've seen a lot of people say that I ruined the song with the second verse, that when the album came out and they heard the second verse, oh, he ruined the whole song. So it's funny to think that what I was doing more as a social experiment, which is really what Confessions of a Danger, it's what that whole album is. Yeah. It was like an experiment to see what would happen if I just made the most ignorant shit and had fun with it. But anyway, it's funny that that first verse is bitches and pussy and drugs and all this shit. And then the second verse is what that person rapping, right? This fictional rap character that actually exists in the world is saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk about this. You know, they want to fucking tear the black man down. They want to paint us as this and this and da 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 da. And that by me saying that, real stories, whether it's my brothers, other rappers I've come into contact with who have told me these things and how they felt, and me witnessing it tear them apart, ruined the song.
Yeah, that's odd.
Exactly. I think the message of not, you know, one, judging a book by its color, but also of a strong man in general, but a strong black man wanting to stop that negativity and turn his own life around, ruin the song. I thought that was funny, personally.
Some people must have liked it, though. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, those are the same people in the arena that were screaming every lyric. You know what I mean?
Because that's more real, right? I feel like that's probably more relatable to who that person might be in real life. Because you can't.
I mean, I've had a conversation with that person who was like, "Good job. This is exactly how I felt."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What would you say as someone who came out of kind of that poverty and despair out of the hood and has totally kind of, I don't want to say escaped it. How would you describe it? I mean, you made it. You made it out, right? Like from the outside looking in now, kind of like, what can we do to like help that situation to make it better? Because it definitely is like a tale of two worlds here. It feels like, in a lot of cities or even in the country itself, where there's like white America, as you described it, just doesn't understand and can't really understand what is it like to grow up in a hood. And I think that's where a lot of prejudice and racism stems from, is because you can't understand what it's like to grow up there, and then you judge these people based on your upbringing, right?
Yeah, I think it's bullshit. I think it's systemic racism, and it's just how it is. It's like these are people who aren't necessarily as educated as they could possibly be because of their school districts and systems and the lack of funds. And I mean, shit, my school system utterly failed me. Like, nobody told me I could be whatever I wanted to be or do whatever I wanted, because they tell you that as a child. They say, shoot for the